Joining us now is a man whose documentary, Bye Bye Barry, will be debuting on Amazon Prime tomorrow.
Go.
The GOAT in a lot of people's eyes for good reason. A man who everybody assumed he retired way too young because there was a lot of greatness left. He'll be telling that entire story tomorrow on Bye Bye Barry. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has a statue in Detroit for good reason, Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for that intro. How's it going?
Hey, things are great. I saw your tweet this morning. We can't wait to get you in the Thunderdome. We cannot wait to see what type of stuff you'll be able to do on this court. We're very thankful you made time for us. Let's dive right in what you're talking about. Bye Bye Barry tomorrow. Was it an emotional time, kind of reflecting on everything that was your NFL life alongside NFL films while filming this for its big release tomorrow?
I would say absolutely, Pat. I mean, I lost my dad in 2011. He's heavily featured in this doc, talking about, everything, from the start of my career to, when I retired. And then him as well as so many others. But I definitely had to fight back a few tears, just seeing my dad there. The game I ran for 2,000 yards, he was there to hug me on the sideline and just things like that, just memories like that. But yeah, a lot is covered in this. We filmed some part of it in London. The NFL films and Prime Video followed me around for a good 9 months to different venues and different events. And they went back home and talked to tons of people and talked to a lot of Detroit icons about the Lions and what my era meant. But to answer your question, there was some emotional parts of it.
I assume anytime you start looking back into your life, and I assume everybody's singing your praises, bro. You deserve it, by the way. Everybody that was talking about your work ethic and your talent and everything you brought to the team, well-deserved, well-earned. I can see how that might get a little bit emotional, but let's talk about you going to London and going to England. I read on the bio on the internet about what Bye Bye Barry is, and it says 24 years after the shocking decision to walk away from the sport, NFL Films joined the 55-year-old Sanders. You don't look a day over 35.
No,
you look a day over 35. The 55-year-old Barry Sanders and his 4 sons on a trip back to England to explore his career. So we were like, was this dude born in England? Like, is the greatest football player of all time from England? And then we started diving into it. When you retired, seemingly young, it got real loud. You moved to England at that point, and then in this film, I guess you go back over there and you almost explain to your kids about why you chose to retire for like the first time almost, right? Is that an accurate depiction of why England ties into your story?
It is, other than I went to London for like 2 weeks after I retired. I didn't officially move to Europe or anything like that. I just thought it was a good place to get away to get away from the noise, for a few weeks. I had been there a couple of times before, and I knew that all the kind of fallout that would happen, which did happen, all the fallout, I just kind of get away from it, and over there, no one really cared, but yes, it's funny because I was assuming that when we were doing this doc, that I would just explain to NFL Network and Prime Video kind of my trip to London and that sort of thing, and then I was thinking that was going to be good enough, but no, they were like, no, we want to go to London, and we want to walk the streets and we want to see some of those places that where you were and that kind of thing, and so I took. They were generous enough to send me and my 4 sons back over there, and they had them kind of shooting questions at me, and that kind of thing. And so they were really kind of almost interviewing my sons were, because my 3 younger sons, my oldest son was probably like 4 or 5 when I retired, so he doesn't really remember it. And then my younger sons weren't even born then. So they were just sort of playing the part of, the media or reporters, where they were kind of asking me about my retirement.
I love that. I cannot wait to hear the answers. I cannot wait to watch. Go ahead, AJ.
Barry, we had a graphic of your stats from your last year in college when you won the Heisman, and it's unbelievable what you did game after game after game. Can you take yourself back there? Do you remember at all what your mindset was like every week? Like, did you know, like, when you think about this is just unheard of numbers of yards and touchdowns that you were getting. Could you feel any, like, all the pressure or everything mounting up, or what was your mindset back then?
AJ, I was young. I was hungry. It was my first year starting. I had the good fortune of playing with a young man who you guys know named Thurman Thomas, a fellow Hall of Famer. I played behind Thurman for 2 years. And so it was my chance to sort of come into my own, to show what I could do. And so I was just thrilled and excited to be starting and in that position. The previous year I had made All-American as a kick returner. And was Thurman's backup and had really a good year backing up Thurman. I don't know, I ran for maybe like 600 yards or so as Thurman's backup, and really had some meaningful time as his backup. But that was my junior year. I was just ready to go, man. I was thrilled about that, the prospect of being able to, like I said, fill Thurman's shoes and I had 5 fifth-year senior offensive linemen and a 5th-year senior fullback. There was the wide receiver on that team was a guy who was also a first rounder named Hartley Dykes. But I was just raring to go, man, and could not wait.
What, Missouri just beat your ass, or what? Missouri just had your number, only 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. They shut me down. They shut me down. Yeah, I know. All right. I didn't play a lot of that fourth quarter against Missouri, but no, they did do a good job against me. Yeah, no, they didn't. No, actually, Barry, nobody did. Yeah, turns out that would be a sustained thing that would happen all the way through your time in the NFL. People would play bad for some reason against Barry Sanders. There's some of those highlights where buddy, crazy. You still got it? We still got a little quickness? You got to remind the kids every once in a while? Still got it?
There's some in there. No, there's some in there, I think. Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I hope that we get a chance to see it in the Bye-Bye Barry. Let's talk about the brand new Lions. Yesterday is such a classic. Like, the Lions would normally be the Bears in that particular game, where they'd be up 2 scores with 3 minutes left and then somehow, some way give it to the other team, and all the Lions fans would be miserable for another week, another year, another season. Why do you think this team is so different, and what do you think is actually possible for this brand new Lions team up there in Detroit?
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't often overcome, those kind of turnovers in a game. And I don't think maybe the Lions in recent past would have. But I think it just shows you what this team is ready to do, and kind of what their ceiling is. We've been building and most fans understand that we've been building toward this, I think, for maybe 3 years now, ever since Coach Campbell arrived and instilled a new culture and new expectations. But this team is well positioned, man. I mean, you look at the NFC. Obviously, the Eagles playing tonight. They're probably the favorite. You look at Dallas. You look at the Niners and a few others in there. But we're right up there, man. I mean, I think our roster stacks up well with anyone. You went in to KC and beat the champs the first game of the season. Obviously, they were a little shorthanded, but still. You won that one. That's never an easy place to play, and we've really lived up to it all season long. If everyone stays healthy, there's no telling how far this thing can go. But just hats off to them, and we're just hoping that maybe we get a playoff game here in Detroit. Which is looking very likely that could happen. And hey, like I said before, this team can beat anyone on that NFC side, so I think they're ready. You think you're going to do any backup singing or performing with Jack Harlow? Ooh. What do you think? Thanksgiving, a Jack Harlow.
Yeah, sweet.
I don't think they have me on the schedule just yet, Pat. I don't think I'm on the schedule.
Oh, we need him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Call him now.
full
pads?
full pads.
Yeah.
With the pads back on. Maybe he.
But if I'm asked to do it, man, absolutely. You know, I'm ready.
Jack Harleasy. Hey, listen. Barry Sanders says, I'll come out and do something. Well, you need that to happen. D-Bud has a question for you, Barry.
Yeah, I got to ask you, Barry. When you stepped away from the game about 1,500 yards short, how much did you miss it? Was it any eagerness to get back in at any point? And then number two, what went into the decision of let your hometown paper, the Wichita Eagle, break your retirement news?
It's the Wichita Eagle.
Wichita.
Hold on, Barry. Hold on. I apologize. What the hell?
Y'all know how I am with some of these.
UConn. What the hell happened?
AJ, what the hell? What's so funny, AJ?
Wichita?
That's a real place.
The basketball school?
Wichita.
There you go.
The Shockers,
The
bro.
Wichita Eagles.
The Shockers.
There you go, Wheat Shockers. Yeah, but no, to answer the question.
I like it. Jeez Louise.
Hey, can we let the legend answer
Right.
the question?
You let the Wichita Eagle do the thing. And when that son bitch was flying, you know.
No, but
that was awesome.
How we get there?
it was. Did I miss it? And was I aware of the 1,500 yards? I mean, I understood at some point that I was always going to miss the game, and that I was never going to replace what football was. I mean, it's a very unique thing, there just aren't that many things like it, and I knew that at that point, Walter Payton. Who I was just 1,500 yards away from his record. He was literally fighting for his life. With that, with the liver disease that he had come down with. So I was aware of that, but I understood that I was just in that. That's just where I was. I know for me that the decision had pretty much been made, and I was okay with. I was okay with the experience that I had in the NFL. That it was unique, that it was special. Hey, look, there's some things that I wish I could have been able to do, but that's okay. And then why the Eagle? Well, I had a lifelong friend who was a writer who worked for the Eagle at that time, and he actually helped me kind of draft the retirement statement. And so that's kind of why and how I ended up sort of working with the Wichita Eagle. Is that a childhood friend, a guy who I actually, I'm friends with even to this day, but he was a writer on staff. He wasn't a sports writer, but he was a writer. And so it just something I felt most comfortable with, dealing with a lifelong friend.
I think your loyalty to Wichita is really admirable. I cannot.
Sure.
You gave a great answer there, but nobody's going to be able to hear it because all they're going to be sitting at home thinking is, did this dude just say Wichita? For Wichita.
Kidding me?
Hey, thank you.
Should have called it the Eagle.
Hey, that was a great question.
Yeah, it was.
That was a great question.
Great
I didn't know that.
I listened to the answer. I heard.
Yeah, it was a great answer, Barry. We appreciate you. That loyalty, though, is one of the reasons why everybody that's ever met you and played alongside you loved you. And I think that's the biggest compliment that you could ever possibly receive. Can't wait to see more of that tomorrow. AJ has a question for you.
Barry, watching some of those clips of you playing on the old school AstroTurf, it's scary to think of trying to tackle you ever on any surface there is. But would you have liked to play on grass more or a lot of grass? I know there's obviously a big push in the NFL right now to try to get all grass in all the stadiums. What do you think about that?
Well, I love certain grass stadiums like, Tampa, which that was probably my favorite place to play outside of the Silverdome.
Brother.
And the turf could be the turf could be a little tough. I mean, as you can see, the Silverdome turf was pretty friendly to me.
I'd say.
And that kind of thing. But it was pretty hard on your joints and what have you. And I know there's discussion about changing back to grass for a lot of stadiums. I think whatever is the safest for the players. I haven't, I've heard different things. I don't know that I've seen, firm data on, which one is the safest. You would think grass, natural grass would be, or at least as much grass as possible. logistically and that kind of thing. But whatever is safest for the players is what I'm for.
Hey, sorry for the reaction while you're talking there. Have you watched film of yourself? You were hilarious to watch.
Sure.
You were running at a different speed than everybody else. I mean, that was a different.
That's crazy.
Are they speeding it with AI?
Oh, yeah.
With
Speaking
AI.
of
And
footage.
it feels like they're speeding one human up and he's wearing 20 and white, and everybody else is running at a different pace. Did you have another gear? Did you have a visor on there for a little bit? What was the visor era? I didn't know that. I
did wear a visor because I got poked in the eye at some point, by actually a young man who actually played for the Packers.
AJ,
not to
scumbag.
Not to bring up any rivalries or anything like that, but yeah, I got poked in the eye at some point, so I did wear a visor for a year or two.
Yeah, it looked clean. Imagine with a tinted visor.
Oh, I mean, too much.
Oh, in those new Lions uniforms.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
MCDC running out the pack in the front.
Lions on
Barry
line.
Sanders right there next to him. Oh, one more game.
One more game.
One more game. You got one more in you for sure. And I know the Lions still got you under contract. We read about that as well.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get talked about. Connor has a question for you, Barry.
Yeah, Barry, obviously you are one of the GOATs of the running back community. Do a lot of young guys coming into the NFL reach out to you, or do you reach out to some of the young guys in the NFL, just kind of give them tips on how to go from, a great college running back to a great NFL running back? And if not, have you had any conversations with Jahmyr Gibbs kind of on his own? Because he started off a little slow with very high expectations and now has really come on and been an absolute stud for the Lions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just in recent years, I've bumped into guys, like a Jonathan Taylor or a Christian McCaffrey. I talked to Josh Jacobs a few weeks ago when the Lions played them, Saquon Barkley, guys like that. Not really any heavy pointers, just good luck. Keep doing what you're doing. It's definitely a tough game, and that I feel like their skill set definitely translates on this level. And then with Jahmyr, I've had a chance to talk to him a little bit, just to encourage him. And I mean, the kid is exciting. He's everything that I think we were hoping for. And when we picked him number one draft pick, you see him making big play after big play every week. Whenever he gets the ball, he looks like he's ready, raring and ready to go. So yeah, he's everything we had hoped for, in being just that kind of back who can make things happen. His speed, you see his speed there. He's breaking tackles, which that's probably the hardest thing when you talk about making that jump from college to pro. Is this running back going to be able to absorb contact, get those yards after contact? Which I feel like I see AJ kind of cringing right now.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm speaking and saying.
Corny, I got corny, I think too. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I've had a chance to talk to those guys, and at least just encourage them, but I not necessarily any heavy coaching pointers.
You should watch film with them and just say, it pays to be faster than everybody. Look, watch this one. Here, watch this one where I'm running in 6th gear, and these guys all have just 4 gears in the car. You see, that's a little bit different. Look at your ass pulling away from these people.
Guys pulling up. You got guys pulling up with hammies chasing you, too.
I mean, you were just disappearing from these. See ya. I am out of here.
Oh, bye.
Bye. That had to feel so good. That had to feel. Look at that guy. Yeah, we got a guy that they don't have. What a good time this had to be. Now, there's something allegedly coming out of tomorrow's Bible.
Man.
Not
No
even
chance.
a flag. Not even a flag in flag football there. Not even a. There's the tinted visor if we need to look at one.
Ooh.
That was sweet.
Yeah, it does look sweet.
They get a shoulder pads.
Yeah, you're ready for some contact, huh? Let's go ahead and put some massive.
Didn't need 'em.
Give these offensive linemen shoulder pads on. There's something coming out of this Bye-Bye Barry tomorrow that we had learned about. Joe Montana allegedly reached out to the Lions because he wanted to play football alongside you. Are we reading accurately? And we did some research. Okay, we did some research. The quarterbacks that were on the Lions at the time were Eric Kramer, Rodney Peete, and Andre Ware. Obviously, incredible football players.
Yes.
Now, not Joe Montana.
No.
Not Joe Montana. I don't think anybody would say. But allegedly, the Lions said, nah, he's too old. He would go on to lead the Chiefs to the AFC Championship that year that he went on to play there. Is that true? And did you know that in the time, or when did you find that out?
I found that out a lot later. And the interesting thing is that I believe his last game with the Niners was against either his last game or one of his last games with the Niners was against us on Monday Night Football. And he literally lit us up. He absolutely lit us up. Joe Montana did before he went to the Chiefs. But I would have learned years later that he was interested in coming to the Lions. Can you believe that? That's such a great story, man.
Foxy.
Yeah, Barry, I can believe that. It's unbelievable. But hey, that's behind us now. How is the city right now and the vibe and Ford Field? Every time I watch, Ford Field is so loud. How is it out there, Barry?
No, it's exactly that, man. I mean, these fans are primed. They're ready. There's been so much anticipation about this season, coming into the season, and what this team would be able to do. And it's just such a big thrill to see this team rise up to this point in the season and do all that they've done, to lead the division by several games. Obviously, yesterday was a great win, and going into the Thanksgiving game this week, so I think, the fans have been supporting this team for so many years, and they really deserve this kind of a season from this team. So the fans and the city is really excited about what the team has done so far.
Are they doing a lot of like their Lions? Is there any of that going on in the stands up there?
There's part of that. No, there's some of that going on. Yes.
Are you doing any? Are you doing any of that?
I mean, I haven't, but I'm not opposed to it. No, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you so much. Can't wait to learn more about you, your family, and everything that you accomplished and maybe we had forgotten about over time tomorrow on Bye Bye Barry, premiering on Amazon Prime. We appreciate you, Barry, man.
Hey, guys. Been a treat being with you. Thanks for having me. Let's do it again soon.
Hey, we got to get you in here, man. Got to get you in here.
You still dunk?
I love to. I don't know if I could dunk on a 10-foot goal these days.
55 years old.
Thinking about it.
I mean, wild.
You said, I don't think? That is absurd. How often do you freak show athlete these days? Legit, F55.
I mean, I don't do too much, I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of laying back and if someone challenges me, then that's a different story.
This guy can't dunk.
Whoa.
55-years-olds can't dunk.
That's embarrassing.
55, you've never seen it.
Nope.
Especially old, retired,
No way.
55-year-olds.
Not even on an 8
They
foot.
can't, AJ? Bum ass.
I'll be there tomorrow.
No way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Sanders, we appreciate you, man.